Hey, it's Mark Sellingworth again here with Brigadoon Radio. We're here with Leo DeCruz, who is the Chief Communications Officer for Reverb Art and Design.
Yes.
Leo, this is your second time here in Sundance, but you just recently went to the Cincinnati Brigadoon.
Correct.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was a great event. A bunch of us met downtown and had a lovely dinner, and as per the norm for Brigadoon, engaged in great conversation and just relationship building with people that are just outside of your range of expertise or operate at the periphery. And so it always, it's just a breeding ground for incredible conversations, learning experiences, and opportunities to push your own cognitive boundaries.
I'm really envious, one, because you live in Cincinnati. That's like one of my all-time favorite cities.
Everybody says that.
Skyline Chili. This is great. And as a Miami of Ohio grad, I love the town. And two, you guys had your own event, so you have your little cadre of people from Cincinnati that have participated. So I am directly envious of that. But tell me, what made you decide to come back to Brigadoon Sundance?
Last year was just a great event. Very engaging conversations. We had a member of the White House press corps come out and talk to us about his day to day and his perspective on the job that he does and that his colleagues do. And then there's just so many opportunities to again connect with folks from around the country that are from completely diverse professional backgrounds.
Right.
But there seems to be a common ethos that we all hold, in terms of seeking knowledge, and seeking to make an impact in the world in our own particular way.
Okay.
And so that's what really drew me back. It was a great event. I didn't really know what to expect coming into it. But a few days, here, and I found it to be a really special experience.
So there was like a moment that it just kind of clicked for you. You're like, okay, I'm coming back. I got to come back to this thing.
Yeah, I had a great. There was a group of us that went out on a little excursion with each other, Team High West.
Oh, okay.
And we
Right.
stayed in touch, 7 of us. There wasn't a week that went by that we didn't have the text chain
Nice.
going on, and somebody would take a picture, or somebody do something interesting, or meet someone new, or be on a cool project, and they would text that and let the group know. And it was a great way to kind of get feedback, and you pick up the phone and call people, hey, I'm working on this. You mind if I get your thoughts? And you just bounce ideas off of people.
So it's like a reliable network that you have people that you trust, and it can give you a fresh perspective because they are maybe a little bit outside of your professional arena.
Exactly.
I get it.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about Reverb Art and Design. What do you guys do over there?
Yeah, we do a range of projects from full environmental redesigns to setting up digital infrastructures for state government, for example. We always, so in that sense, we are a full service design and communications firm, first and foremost. But we work on projects that we care about, that are meaningful to us, and that can make a sustainable impact on the culture, on the communities around us. So.
Any favorite projects that you?
Yeah, we're working on a really great project. It's high impact. It has to do with substance use disorder, particularly around opioids and
Right.
and mental health disorders. And so we're creating from the ground up, including all of the design, all the communication strategy, an outreach campaign where we can connect the resources, the treatment resources that are available to young people, to those young people all around the state of Ohio, whether they are in Appalachia or one of the urban environments like Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, or in the suburban areas.
Oh, wow.
So we want to meet young people where they're at, because the truth is Ohio is ranked second in the nation for overdoses. And so we have a concentration of resources being put towards the people who are suffering from substance use disorder. Not a lot of folks are looking at the impact on the social impact beyond them. And so what we're looking at is the young people and trying to make sure that they have access to the resources that can help them out.
And it helps them to deal and cope with either their own personal problems or problems of their family members.
Absolutely.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing. All right, last thing. You got a book from this year or the last 12 months that you would recommend, or an album that you've listened to, or a show that you like,
Yeah.
for our viewers out there?
I would recommend Be Like the Fox.
Okay.
It's a biography of Machiavelli, and it really goes beyond Machiavelli, and it kind of uses his life as the lens through which one can look at the upheavals of Europe at the time. And I think a lot of people are unaware of, who Machiavelli was. Everybody thinks, oh, you read The Prince and you know everything. This fellow was a diplomat. He was a state builder.
Right.
He was a playwright. He was many things. And I think that through reading this particular book, you can learn about a lot about our current times and a lot of the things that we see going on, both domestically throughout the United States, but as well as the foreign arena too, and how we engage with the rest of the world.
Is it similar to the fox and hedgehog analogy for they talked about it in Tolstoy's War and Peace, but also Isaiah Berlin, where the fox knows many different things, but the hedgehog knows one thing and kind of focuses on that, or is it completely unrelated to that?
I think it's a little unrelated.
Okay.
But he was a polymath, right?
And yeah, that's true.
So I think in that sense, and he was elusive as well. I mean, he was exiled for a time.
He wrote The Prince to try and ingratiate himself, right, so that he could.
So I mean, one of the subtexts, which is kind of also the main thesis of the book, is that the author makes the argument that the prince was not to be taken seriously. It was more of him being sarcastic and making fun of the noblesse, the Medici family, for example, and really saying like that's not the path we should go down. We should actually track down a democratic path.
Yeah, which is reflected in his other works.
Exactly, and he was a democracy builder. I mean, part of the reason he was exiled was because of his democratic inclinations, and so he was exiled from Florence.
Okay, then I'm gonna get that book then.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a very counterintuitive read. It's smart. It's an excellent narrative. Very easy to read, but the knowledge base is deep, and the research that went into the writing of that book is just historically profound. But it's also, again, there are certain historical reads that are very relevant to present day, and I think this is one of the best that I've read in the last 12 to 18 months.
All right, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
And more later from Brigadoon.